Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily Dvar. And here's a brand new Halacha for you, and it's for Thursday, 21st day of June. Here we go. Another law about the repetition of the Shemona Esrei. The Chazan must have at least 9 listeners listening totally to the repetition of the Shemona Esrei. Otherwise, he is saying the brachos, the blessings, in vain. Please realize how serious that is. If at any point there are 9 men listening to what he's saying, then the Chazan is repeating the Shemona Esrei in vain, which means he's saying God's name in vain, so it's very, very serious. Therefore, the halacha is quite clear. You absolutely may not speak during Chazar Hashatz, that's the repetition of the Shemona Esrei. You may not learn. You may not catch up on other parts of davening. Even those people who wear Rabbeinu Tam tefillin, and they want to switch out of their regular Rashi tefillin into their Rabbeinu Tam tefillin, it's not appropriate to do that during Chazar Hashatz. During the repetition of the Shemona Esrei, this is it. You just must be focused on the repetition of the Chazan. Let's say there are 100 people in a shul and you feel like, oh, calm down. There's plenty of people that they don't need me. Well, that's not really true, because so many people could be saying that, and even if you think you see 10 people that are listening, it's very possible that some of them are quote-unquote spacing out in the middle, and therefore we need you to be listening. I'm not just saying it to be like extra, from. That's the law. That's the law. No learning, no talking, no making up any other parts of davening, etc. during the repetition of the Shemona Esrei. A little aside, just in case you knew all that, also, even though you have 9 listeners, you must have that 6 of those 9 listeners, at least 6, just said Shemona Esrei with you. If you only had like 5 or less people that just said Shemona Esrei, and you just grabbed a bunch of other listeners from the street and said, come in here and stand here while we repeat Shemona Esrei, you must have that 9 are listening, 9 men, and at least 6 of the 9 just said the Shemona Esrei quietly before. Otherwise, you're not eligible for the repetition of a Shemona Esrei. And lastly, the halacha does state that if a rabbi is asked a pertinent question that really needs an answer quickly, during the repetition of the Shemona Esrei, he is allowed to give a short, quick answer to the question posed to him during the repetition of the Shemona Esrei. Otherwise, nothing. I'll just end by telling you that some people say that a chazan repeating the Shemona Esrei should say a condition to himself before he begins, and that is, God. He can even say it quietly or just think it. If there are 9 listeners, as there should be, let this be a proper repetition of Shemona Esrei. If there aren't, and only you know that, God, if there aren't, then let this be a tfilas nadava, a voluntary offering. You're not really allowed to do a voluntary offering Shemona Esrei whenever you please, and there are a lot of strict laws about how to do that, but in this extenuating circumstance where your blessings might be in vain, that might be the next best bet, is to say, hopefully there are 9 listening. Then this is a regular repetition of Shemona Esrei, and if there aren't, let this be a voluntary offering. Speak to your rabbi more about that if you want to adopt that custom, and thanks for logging on, and log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.